Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. I am Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and as always, going to bring you some updated information today. We're really going to update you on some matters that people take weight loss into their own hands these days. We are doing a lot of the peptides and the injections. I mean, this is everywhere. And so people are shopping and looking for the cheapest, easiest program just to get the injection into their hands and start their weight loss. But there are some things you're not thinking about when you are making your selection. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to do better for yourself in that department. But I cannot do that by myself. I have Ray Solano from PD Labs up in Cedar Park, Texas, who I've been associated with for a very long time for a very good reason. Ray is definitely top notch in his information and his updates. Going to bring us some this morning. Ray, welcome in. Always nice to see you.
Well, thanks for having me today. And, I think it's, thanks for taking the time to do this and as an educational piece and be a little bit contrarian.
Yes.
I just went through the weight management certification course by A4M this last weekend, and it came across with some interesting clinical pearls I want to share with you today. And I think the statistics are, we do know that this is, we should probably call it an epidemic, because the statistics are showing that over half the population will have a BMI or be classified as overweight within 10 years.
Yes.
So this should be a priority for us as a country and a civilization to reverse this course, or else it's going to be increased healthcare costs will be spiraling out of control.
Absolutely. And the insurance industry is not helping us. They're not covering this stuff, so we're having to go to you.
Be honest with you, as a little bit of a background in business and market and economics, it should be a free program. Because everybody's going to, the payback is tenfold.
Absolutely.
Because if people get sick and die, it's just, anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, we figured out there as specialists in clinical pharmacy and also in functional medicine, it's important to realize you can't just fix a problem that you've had for 20 years overnight.
Exactly.
The body, to be able to put it back in control, it has to be in symphony with the body, and it has to be synchronized and in sync with your entire hormone system, your body's elimination program, to get meaningful reversal of a dysfunctional, I would say a dysfunctional metabolism.
Right.
So many of the people that are starting on that are having an obesity of 5, I would say anywhere, the BMI, that they're over 30 pounds overweight.
Yes.
They have a toxicity problem, and they're usually not very healthy. So anybody that gets you started on a weight loss program that says you do not need a blood test and an extensive blood work to understand your baseline health, please run the other direction.
Absolutely.
Because it's not, don't want to use these pharmaceuticals for somebody that has an underlying disease state. They have another chronic condition that needs to be addressed beforehand. They're seeing the statistics are, they're seeing all types of other diseases, their underlying cancers, underlying diabetes,
yes.
Their underlying dysfunctions with all types of adrenal and thyroid dysfunction.
That's right.
So we got to fix those things first.
Right.
Beforehand, because it's just going to make people sick. And this is the reason why, unfortunately, people are showing up in ERs. They're showing up with emergency gallbladder surgeries. So please, this is, I think it definitely has to be a medically supervised professionals that that you make sure that you don't get worse.
And, for this too, you're mentioning this, we're talking about using, the pharmaceuticals for weight loss, but all of these points that you're about to make are good for people who don't want to use pharmaceuticals, and answers that question as to why am I trying so hard and not able to lose weight? So using them or not using them, these are important points that you need to start your weight loss journey.
And this exactly true. And then, so first thing is they have to get a blood test to identify where the difficulties are to begin with. Now, many people have a cortisol dysfunction. So you have to get a first morning cortisol. This is where your the reaction of your adrenals or how they are functioning.
Right.
If they're down-regulated, they have to be optimized. If you're running an extremely stressful life, which caused you to gain the weight in the first place, that has to be normalized. And sometimes with the medication, people's cortisol levels are either they're increased their cortisol levels or they're flatlined.
Right.
So you got to get their cortisol levels. So it may require a supplementation.
Absolutely.
Or pharmaceutical prescription to get their cortisol levels intact. So all roads lead to cortisol.
Absolutely.
So so we got the blood test, we got the cortisol levels. And then the other thing is, if you have gut issues, this is how you got sick in the first place. Mm-hmm. So if you have a yeast infection or candida infection, those have to be resolved first, because this will also further complicate the issue, because sometimes a low caloric diet that you're doing will help it, but people need to know what foods to eat when they're doing this. So you got to fix up the yeast infection that's going on. And you can find that from a blood test or a very simple symptomology questionnaire, and fix that. And then, many times if you have a inflamed gut and you'll have these tight junctions that this inflame, all the toxins are leaking through, and people say, well, I just have allergies. I did a whole lecture on that, just allergies. This is toxins that are leaking through, and your body doesn't know where to put these immunoglobulins, these allergenic substances. So you got to fix the GI tract. And there's a number of prescription medications that we found that are fixing the gut, the lorazepam, KPV.
That works.
It works perfectly. So if you fix the gut, okay, and then we're building this block here. You can see the pattern here. Then you'll be able to, the nutrients that you're going to be getting, okay, that you're going to be limited less than you were before, will be properly digested. Right. You will be able to absorb the essential fats. You will be able to absorb the essential minerals, and you will get those, and you will stop having these toxic reactions. And like I said, we don't want people, if we don't fix the elimination pathways, we don't want people to get emergency gallbladder, because people will, if they don't listen to what they're supposed to be doing. This is why they're showing up in ERs.
Yes.
So, and then the reason why are we doing all this? I am very concerned. We've been doing this, how many years? 20 years?
Oh, yeah.
We've seen diet craze. From how many diet crazes have we seen?
Oh, over and over.
What happens when the diet stops? Everybody gains it all back plus some.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we can't afford it, because we've already gone on. Let people realize, if you don't do this now, you will gain it all back.
Yes.
And you'll have a lower metabolism you had before. Mm-hmm. You've lost improper amount of fat and muscle, so your metabolism will be worse.
Yes.
So maybe we get people's attention. And then also, if you can just kind of look at, the semaglutide, do you ever see the term called Ozempic face?
Yes.
You just look at people and go, oh, yep, they're on it.
Yeah.
Because they're losing weight not appropriately balanced.
Exactly. Losing like people who do gastric surgery and lose weight really quickly. A lot of times there's muscle loss underneath there.
Right.
It's not the medication; it's how fast they're losing weight and losing the muscle structure underneath
the structure in the face, and it just looks. So they have to be able to have a diet plan of. They didn't know how to eat in the first place because that's how they got that spot. So what makes them think that they can go back eating? One of my patients said they started, they couldn't finish their Costco hot dog. Well, I don't think you should have been eating the Costco hot dog in the first place with this because it's not really a balanced food.
Exactly. So, I'm just eating less. I'm not changing what I'm eating. I'm just not eating. I'm just eating.
I'm not eating. And so they're eating the wrong foods. They're not getting the proper amount of proteins. Right. Okay. They're not getting the ratio of proteins. They're getting empty carbohydrates that have no nutritional value at all. So you're in a sense starving your body and you're revving it up at the other angle. So gosh, it's just, I came across going, we really, really need a pathway for this. It's going to be kind of a torturous pathway, but you have to have providers that are doing this. And I think that you should be touching with a medical provider once a week to make sure you're not going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And, the patients who are doing the, weight loss programs and investigating, different types, trying to get something less expensive, most of the time do not have even a nurse practitioner level or PA level care. They're getting something less, a medical assistant or just, somebody that was hired to stand in and sell it, but not follow up on the medical end of things. And the other thing too that I was thinking about as you brought this up on the gut issue. So when patients get side effects from the injections, I tell them, there's not a medication that can cause constipation and diarrhea as a side effect. That is a gut problem. When you fix the gut, then the medication no longer causes what's going on underneath. The medication just exposes that you have a gut issue underneath, and that is primary that we have to fix. And a lot of patients who are doing the program who are not having the same results as others, a quick and fast weight loss usually has a gut issue underneath that hasn't been fixed. So, we think like we have before, like you said, for 20 years and all these fads and different things that we're doing, that this is the latest and the greatest. Now, this time it's going to work when everything else failed. And we're going to find within the next year or so that this is going to fail a lot of people as well, because we, all these 20 years, have not faced what is truly and actually wrong underneath. Get that fixed. And then one of these things that you choose to assist you as a tool to lose weight will finally work, but then you'll be able to turn around and keep it off and maintain it. But you have to fix the problem underneath. There is no fast way to do it. Stop looking for the quick way.
Stop the quick way. And what we're asking people is that they have to change their diet, making some major changes in that. I think that the first thing is they have to finally realize that sugar is not an energy booster. It was sold in the 50s to everybody and convinced that sugar was good because this is what, the cereals, the cereals in the 1900s were very bland.
Right.
And then they were the corn flakes and the wheat bread. If you go back in the history of breakfast cereals, and then they said, what, if we add some sugar to it, the kids will like it. And so they did it on the cartoons. And so then they advertised that sugar was good for you. It gave you energy. So people today will still believe sugar gives you energy. So what they have to completely eliminate that it is really, call it a carcinogenic substance.
Yes, it is.
So take it out of the diet. It serves no purpose at all. It doesn't give you energy.
Absolutely.
So,
and it's an addiction. So, that's the other reason they put it in, is because they knew people would be addicted and then continue to buy it. Plus, there are other products that they're building in. And so back in the 90s, when we had the, Hands Across America, Feed Africa, Feed the World, we were talking about world hunger at the time. I tell people that had nothing to do with feeding the hungry. It had everything to do with our farmers were failing. We needed to subsidize farmers, so we paid them to grow more. Then we had a huge storage of corn, so we made high fructose corn syrup to get rid of it, further subsidize the farmers, and here we are.
There we go. So, and so you get rid of the sugar, right? And then if people have a unhealthy gut, they're not going to be able to handle the glutens and the grains.
Absolutely.
So I think that, there's something wrong. That they used to be able to eat all these things or different types of grains 20 years ago.
Right.
But right now, assume you cannot handle it.
Yeah.
As for grains. And while you're doing it, give your body a break from the grains.
Yes.
Okay. So it's a healthy step to limit the grains and look for other sources for grain-free dishes. It's not that hard.
It's really
fresh vegetables, good source of proteins, nuts, seeds are all grain free. And then you start to put a majority of your diet, and every meal has mixed greens with it. That's not a bad thing to do. And then you realize I don't need those grains and those breads, if nothing else, to complete the meal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you can use rice. Rice is still a grain, but it can be a healthy, non-allergenic.
Yes.
So start with that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is a very hard thing is you're going to have to look the other direction for a happy hour.
Yes. True.
It's you cannot be doing this and doing.
I'm going to pause you right there. We are hitting up on the break. This is a great topic. Let's pick that up on the other side. Can you tell us really quickly where to find you and more information on all of this?
Sure. It's PD Labs, pdlabsrx.com, 512-219-0724, and check out our website. There's lots of free information, pdlabsrx.com.
Absolutely. And I am on board helping you guys get a lot of these therapies there. Please look at Ray and I in our previous shows at drpbetterlife.com. You can find all platforms and links to that. So, Ray, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side.
Hi, this is Ray Solano with your Healthy Choices Minute, sponsored by Prescription Dispensing Labs. New research has concluded that implementing dietary changes could prevent gut inflammatory processes involved in some chronic diseases. Modulation of your gut microbes through diets enriched with vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and a higher intake of plant over animal foods has a potential to prevent intestinal inflammatory conditions at the core of many chronic diseases. In short, the foods we eat in our dietary patterns have a major influence on our immune system that can cause many conditions we are suffering from today. Solution: try our OptiMeal shake. Our team has developed the best tasting, healthiest shake you've ever experienced to control blood sugar and to improve your gut. Start your day today with a healthy choice. Call us today at 888-909-0110 for a free sample of the OptiMeal shake. 888-909-0110. Remember, you have a choice in healthcare.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Ray and I are together today. Ray Solano and I from Cedar Park and PD Labs are together today talking about the weight loss craze, the weight loss injection craze, and just weight loss in general. And you touched on something before we ended there, Ray, and I had to slow you down for just a minute to take a break on the alcohol intake. I know alcohol's fun. It's a legal drug at the moment. Tell us, what do we need to do?
Well, it balances. The reason why people are doing it is balancing their cortisols.
Yeah.
They're not handling the stress of their lives,
Yes.
And so it's fun. It's easy. However, look at it. People will say, "Well, it's not very many carbohydrates in there." alcohol, to be able to metabolize, it does change blood sugar levels.
Yes.
So look at it as a food that's going to change your blood sugar levels and cause you to gain weight.
Yeah.
So I think you just need to have that love affair change. You look at, I was at the urology show and met with a urologist that lost 50 pounds. And so he said he did it with a very strict calorie restriction. He had a diet that he had, and he treated alcohol as a carbohydrate. And he did a very clinical nutritional shake in the morning, and he lost weight that way, and he's 50 pounds lower. But anyway, there's many different ways to do this in concert with your body.
Yes.
And that's what's important, people to realize. So stop that. Look at that alcohol as a way of gaining weight, not just relieving it.
Absolutely. And I'm going to take this a little step further, because this is not clinically studied. This is not in any clinical studies out there. This is not in the package insert for Mounjaro, tirzepatide. But I will tell you, I've done this for over a year and a half now. Patients very commonly tell me that with the use of tirzepatide or Mounjaro or Zepbound, that they are able to set the alcohol aside. They don't have a craving for it anymore. It seems like some of their other compulsive behaviors are treated as well, but they feel like they don't need alcohol anymore. And I find that to be fairly consistent. Have you heard any?
It is. We know that these drugs are working on the brain for many, many conditions, right? Especially OCD conditions that we are saying they work on the hippocampus. Yes. In the brain. And we're seeing this neurological repair.
Yes.
Without getting into too much technology of the mechanisms. But this is why these drugs fix some of the eating dysfunctions that we have. So they're very powerful. Right. In this area. And there's two more generations coming out. Yes. That can be for very aggressive weight loss. So again, people that are 100 pounds overweight, 200 pounds overweight, there are answers. And that's the great thing is they give people hope.
Absolutely. Other than surgery, which surgery is a very useful tool in the right situation. But now, like you say, these next generation of injections that are coming out are going to be extremely helpful to help people to avoid that, able to use more long term if needed. But yeah, so tirzepatide has been such a game changer over semaglutide and some of the 20 years of other generations of the GLPs. Tirzepatide is a little different, and I know you have. And we've talked about a little different version of tirzepatide.
Well, tirzepatide is, we're working in concert with your office and other practitioners. We offer the injectable, but we're also putting this in a oral liposomal tablet, a chewable tablet.
Yes.
So we're looking to gain more data. Right now, our initial results are off the charts. So, I think it's important to contact your office.
Yes.
If you're interested in this, to get signed up for launching this, we need people to do the proper pre-qualifications before that they are clinically able to do this next level. But these chewable forms, non-needle form,
right,
we're very excited about offering for people because 50% of the people don't want to do injections.
Right.
So there's many different forms of semaglutide oral that are out there, but we want to make sure that we tailor it properly to the person. But the next frontier is items that are no needleless solutions.
Yes. And the technology that you are using, the LPT technology, we've talked about on previous shows, is going to be such a game changer for so many peptides and so many products that you are already offering and I'm already prescribing. So, you guys need to go back and take a look at our previous shows and hear some of the things
there
that
we go.
we're doing.
But I sign up soon because there's There won't be just a limited amount for this next pilot run.
That's right. And you said launching out about the 1st of June. So
first week of June, but they got to contact your office and go through the steps first. But I think it's really important that people realize they have choices.
They do. So, and you are great at doing that for many, many things. So please tell the world here how they can get in touch with you and find out more information.
Sure. If they want more information, 512-219-0724. And it's 512-219-0724.
Yes. You guys still answer the phone. My medical assistant called yesterday and she said, Ray answered the phone and talked to me. I said,
I did. Well, you have to be able to be in the game and can't stay on the sidelines, just like you.
Absolutely. And so pdlabsrx.com. Please go take a look. Lots of great information there. Ways to get in touch with Ray and his world up there in Cedar Park. Then, of course, you and I have a lot of our previous shows. We've done this for 3 years, Ray. So go to drpbetterlife.com. I've got plenty of information about our previous shows, plus many of the previous shows I've done over the last 3 years, plus my office and other information. So drpbetterlife.com. That'll give you plenty of ideas on what different aspects of your health and how to give yourself a better life, create a better life. And so pdlabsrx.com, where you can find Ray. Ray, thank you as always. It's been such a pleasure. Again. Great show. Lots of good information.
Take care.
Thank you. You too. Everybody have a great week.